Welcome everyone to The How. I'm Jack Foster, and in this episode, I sat down with Colin Watanuki and Faith Wright to discuss the DECA team. In this episode, we focused on the basics of DECA and how it works, as well as a reflection on regionals and preparation for upcoming states on February 29th. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoy. Hello everybody and welcome back to The How. My name is Jack Foster. The producer of today's show is Leo Cohen. We are very excited to have Colin Watanuki and Faith right here with the DECA team in the Dispatch Podcast Studio powered by Jet's Pizza. Hi guys, thank you so much for coming in. Very glad to have you here. So just to kind of get started, I don't really know much about DECA, and this is like a great time, an opportunity to learn about DECA. So what is DECA really?
So in short, DECA stands for the Distributive Educational Business Clubs of America, which was established in 1959. And the biggest point of DECA is help students connect business terms and what they've learned in and outside the classroom to real-world situations.
So in case you're wondering kind of what we do at DECA, part of what me and Colin do is we get this case study situation. So it's like, for example, you're marketing this new airline to the specific group of customers, and then you get 7 key performance indicators, and you have to answer these specific questions like, what are the key terms of marketing, and how would you market this new business to this group of customers? And then we have to present that to a judge. We get 15 minutes to prepare at regionals and 30 minutes to prepare at state, and then we get 15 minutes to present that to our judge at our specific competition.
And so when you're practicing in these little practices for DECA after school, are you going over these different marketing strategies and way to try and best sell it?
Yeah, so that's mainly what we're looking at. We're seeing what's new, what's entering the newer curriculum that most of our competitors don't understand. So an example of something new that we've picked up on that a lot of people haven't picked up on is the marketing funnel. So we find these new aspects of marketing, the important concepts that we can include into our role plays.
Yeah, we're always trying to incorporate new ideas, and so we like to call our little BS of every single role play that we do. So we'll always come up with a little graph or a little chart, something that we can incorporate that our competitors might not be doing to kind of give us our competitive advantage.
Mm-hmm. And so kind of just a little background with you guys in DECA. So why did you guys choose DECA? And was there anyone that introduced you to DECA?
Yeah, so I've grown up around DECA. My dad was a DECA advisor from the time I was born. Up until they started switching to different business platforms like BPA and FBLA. But I've grown up with DECA. I've known that's something I'm interested in. I know I'm interested in business in general, and what a great opportunity to also have my best friend be with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of just came along for the ride. I knew that he was going to do it, and we have always been best friends since 6th grade, so we kind of knew we were going to be partners since the beginning, and I figured why not just do it since middle school, and so yeah.
And you guys have both been competing since freshman year?
So yeah, we've competed since freshman year. Last year we were regional champions and also state finalists, and we qualified for nationals. And this year we also kept up with the theme of regional champions and hoping to still be state finalists this year.
How is DECA helping out with your future in business?
So honestly, what we found is that it can give us a lot of real life experience with competing and giving us communicational skills that a lot of people might not have. And it's really great because we get to kind of do a lot of networking at specific competitions, especially state. So last year we kind of just got to go around, and I made a little TikTok, and I got to meet a lot of new people, and it's really fun because you get to see and meet a lot of people that you might have not got to meet before.
Mm-hmm.
Right, a key aspect of DECA is all about those communication skills. There's even a certain aspect of what we're graded on, and that falls under the 21st century communication skills. So it's how clearly are we presenting our ideas? How do we show our evidence for our work, which then also translates and helps make us better students in the classroom.
Mm-hmm. And has DECA been an overall enjoyable experience for you guys?
Yeah, it's super fun, especially when we get to go to those super big competitions, such as last year we got to go to Disney. This year, hopefully, we get to go to Disneyland in Anaheim if we make to nationals. It's really fun. We get to meet a lot of new people, and being able to compete in those big atmospheres, it's just a bunch of fun, and you get a lot of free time to hang out and meet new people and just better yourself in the competition. So
Exactly, and everything that we're learning is helping us. That helps translate to our future endeavors. So whatever that may be, I mean, like we said earlier, that key aspect of communication is key, no matter what industry you go into, and then it also helps us. Me and Faith also have an interest in business when it comes down to our electives and possible double majors and minors once we enter college. So it all helps with that too. So it's all been really enjoyable.
Yeah. On that note with college, is DECA like really helping you out with like any scholarships or like any grants that you are getting for college or any schools that have interest in you guys?
So right now, I mean, both me and Faith are juniors. So when we're looking at scholarships, DECA offers hundreds of $1,000s of scholarships, which is great. And especially me when I plan on entering the tourism industry, it gives me even more scholarships that DECA offers.
On to regionals, which was the end of January, right?
Yep.
So, kind of a little reflection on regionals. How was that? Like, how did you guys prepare for regionals following in from the regular season?
So kind of what we do to prepare is we run through a lot of those practice role plays that we kind of mentioned earlier. We do tons of practice case studies, and we're always going through those performance indicators to see if we're getting a marketing role play, if we're getting a human services role play, we're seeing how we interact with our customers. And then we're also looking at those key performance indicators. And another thing we really go over is a lot of practice tests. So we see DECA recycles a lot of practice test questions, and so basically if you do enough, you can memorize the test questions.
And going off of that test prep, the way that DECA works and how your score is calculated is half of it is multiple choice test, and the other half is the role play, which we've been talking about mostly. And then this year we've also done a lot of curriculum-based changes within Hersey. So to help Hersey students prepare better for regionals, we've helped them with we've encouraged more practice tests. We have meeting requirements. We're showing them how to access more role plays, and all proven really beneficial. As we saw, state qualification rates almost triple. It increased by 288%.
So you guys have been kind of leaders of DECA, right?
Yes.
Yep, we're co-presidents.
Nice. So, kind of another leadership. How has Coach Vesper been for you guys from your freshman year working up to your junior year?
Vesper's been great. Vesper helps us with Vesper's entire aspect is he's super student driven, which is super encouraging to us, and he helps us throughout all those steps.
Yeah, it's really awesome. He can be kind of hands off in the student experience, so he really wants us to lead all of the students and just do however much work we are willing to put in to help all of the students in our program.
Mm-hmm. And I was told by him that you guys almost are like a player coach role, and I have a couple friends that are in DECA. They've told me that you guys make a huge impact in terms of getting to learn more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad to hear that other people think that way too. I mean, it all goes back to these curriculum changes that we've made and showing DECA members how they can qualify for these larger competitions, and how they can improve as a student too.
And back to the topic of regionals, when in regionals, how when you're in a little competition, are you nervous, or what keeps you motivated to execute fully on the spot?
So yeah, I mean, it's natural to feel that kind of competition nervousness when you're there, but what really gets us through it is when we're working together and we're kind of reading off these role plays, we kind of just have to take a second to focus our mental energies, and when we're prepping, we're going through it, and we take a second, read through the role play, write down all of our ideas, and we kind of make sure that we're walking through the role play in a calm and focused state. And then when we go to present it, we're always making sure we have the kind of mental position like we are at kind of, how would you describe it?
I mean, we always say what's rule number one, and our rule number one is walk like you own this place. Mm-hmm. So if you go down with the mentality of, oh, I'm not the best, or what's going to happen, it's going to show that in your performance. So understanding that, it's at a certain point it's mental, and that then translates to your communication skills.
Absolutely, yeah. And when you have other peers competing at DECA, how are you supporting them? Because I know in something like this, it's not like a sport where you're actively cheering them on, right?
Yeah, so we really do our best to support by giving our own knowledge and trying to impart our knowledge and our experience onto however many people want to learn from us. But it is kind of like, hey, how'd your role play go? How'd your test prep go? And then if they want to come learn more from us, they're welcome to come to us as well.
Absolutely. We see plenty of members coming and approaching us, asking how to incorporate certain ideas. These ideas range from SWOT analysis to contingency plans and, everything in between. It just really we're there for any member that needs help. And then we're also, like Faith said, we're following up with them and just encouraging them. And, we just hope that everything goes as planned.
Yeah, and if anyone ever has if they say a bad performance, what are you guys doing to help lift them up?
It really is important for us to make sure that everybody is feeling positively about their role plays, their performances, no matter how it went positively or negatively. So what we do is we want to go through their performances after they get it back. So after regionals, every single person got their judge's score sheet, and so it has all of the feedback on it. And so if they want to, with us, they can get all of their feedback, and we can go through it with them if they're willing to learn from their mistakes.
And also helping them prepare and feel more confident when they're at the competition. Going back to those curriculum changes that we made earlier, we're having practice role plays that we've not only taken online from published DECA posts, but we've also now created our own, simplifying it down so students can best understand what's happening. So when they go to present those role plays, they feel their best. And when they know, maybe they didn't do so good, it also comes back down to our experience of, maybe we're not, me and Faith have had plenty of role plays where we're like, oh, shoot, that's awful. That did not go so well. This goes back to state, and then when we get second at state for that role play, it clearly went pretty well, even though we were psyching ourselves out. So reassuring members that everything's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so states is coming up last day of February, correct?
Yes, we got Thursday.
Mm-hmm. And so you guys are going to states. Are there any other notable people that might be going to states too?
So in terms of Hersey, we have, I believe it's 22 DECA members that are going. We had 26 qualify, but 22 are going. I think everyone that's going is super notable. We have 4 freshmen going, which is crazy to think about. And these 4 freshmen that qualified are all, it's all their first time doing it, and they're also not doing principal events. So that's something to also note.
Yeah, so kind of going through the list, we have some seniors. We have Kaylin Gogarty, Will Corley, and kind of some big names and some people that you might not have heard of. And lots of people that, if you heard of some freshmen, you might not have heard of them, but I think that there'll be some names that you start to hear of as we progress throughout the years. They're gonna be popular.
Right. We just hope to really hear, when we go to our awards come Saturday morning, we love hearing from Hersey, and that's how it was last year. And we're hoping to also keep that going this year. Since we're bringing a bigger crew, we want to be a standout team. When we're looking at other schools going to DECA State, around here are the biggest areas that are the most involved in DECA are these western suburban areas. We're looking at the Aurora and Naperville areas, so we're looking at the Waubonsie Valleys, the Naperville Centrals. But at the end of the day, percentage of students that qualify for ICDC, which is our nationals, and actually place a medal, is a lot higher here at Hersey. So we hope to continue that this year.
And so is it a company or a service? What are you guys promoting or marketing for, or what are you planning on promoting or marketing for states?
So that all comes. So there's 2 aspects in DECA. So there's a prepared event, which me and Faith and one of our other members who's not here, unfortunately, and another group is doing. So that prepares. So we're showcasing the client buying behavior and selling process. But then there's also the role play.
So for our prepared event, we wrote a 23-page paper kind of talking about how we fundraised for breast cancer awareness, and it was kind of a huge success if you know about the candygrams that we sold in the winter, and we had these stickers that go on your flashlight called light dots, and as well as vending concessions. We did that. For all the fundraise, $600 for breast cancer awareness. We wrote a paper on that, and we will also be presenting a 15-minute presentation on that, and then also, as we mentioned, our case study and role plays that we present. So
Right.
we'll be doing both of those.
And all those
at
case
state.
studies from the role plays, we find out when we get there. the idea gets presented to us, and then we have 30 minutes to prepare. There's no advance notice that we get about those.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of approach are you taking to this? Like almost like a mental approach, really.
So I think for us, it all just comes down to repetition and practice.
Yeah, so as we said before, it's really important for us to just find those use our resources online and find as many possible performance indicators or any Quizlets or anything online that we can find to memorize or possibly like prepare for these online before, and just get that positive mental state going into beforehand so that we can kind of go into it knowing and feeling that we are kind of the top dog going into it.
A little bit of a fun aspect. So if you guys compete really well at states, how are y'all celebrating?
I mean, there's plenty of stuff that we'll do, but I think our biggest one is that we're excited, and for us, it's the big trip reward is going to nationals, going to ICDC. It's almost a time to rewind, but also being competitive while we're there. So, this year it's in Anaheim, last year was in Orlando. Both Faith and I qualified, so that's our biggest success and way that we celebrate.
Yeah, and I would say one of our biggest traditions is that last year, every year when we've made it, we've gone to Andy's to go get some ice cream after celebrating, and our parents also took us out to lunch after finding out that we made nationals last year, which didn't seem like a possibility to us. We were kind of shocked and didn't seem possible to be sophomores making it to a national competition in Orlando. So hopefully we'll get to do that again, and it seems pretty likely because seemed like we got it in the bag this year.
Yeah, nice little tradition that you guys have.
Mm-hmm.
So back to the other people that are competing. Who else is really set up for success? Like, who do you know and expect to be up there with you guys when you compete?
So, 2 names jumped to my head. 3 names probably jumped to my head right. Maybe 4 names jumped to my head right away. And those people, it's Sarah Stryker, who unfortunately isn't with us. She was also a state finalist and ICDC qualifier last year. She's not here with us right now.
She has COVID. He's saying it like she's dead. She has COVID.
Yeah. But everything, she's going to do great. And then we see other regional champions. I think Will Corley he's going to do great. He's super well-spoken. And then a team event that jumps to me right away is our financial analysis team of Tarak Shaw and Owen Wade. Especially Owen and also Tarak, they've just been working and seeing, business and industry trends and seeing how they can then incorporate that to their role play.
Yeah, another name that jumps to my head is Michaela Weintraub and Helena Loza. I feel like they've honestly seen so much improvement from when they started. Even if they don't make it to that national level this year, I feel like they've honestly seen so much improvement from when they started this year. Even coming in as newbies this year, they might see nationals next year if they don't see it this year.
All right, well, that's all I have for today, and that's it for today's show. Special thanks to Colin Watanuki and Faith Wright for coming in today, and a special thanks to our viewers for tuning in, and also a thanks to our sponsor, Jets Pizza, over there on Rand Road. And that will do it for this episode. I'm Jack Foster, and on behalf of our producer, Leo Cohen, thanks again, and we will see you on the next episode.